When the going gets tough, the tough get going, and the rest of us conjure our ideal escape, dreaming of a remote island with crowd-free sands, bright blue waters, and a tranquil aura. But when you're ready to turn that dream into a reality, set your sights on Seychelles, a cluster of 115 islands peppering the Indian Ocean off the eastern coast of Africa. You may have caught sight of the scenery here before. The seemingly endless white beaches, giant boulders and swaying palms are the stuff of postcards, television commercials, and desktop backgrounds. And while you're lounging along these famous shorelines, it's likely that the only other life forms you'll encounter will be the island's colorful birds and humongous tortoises. The Seychelles Islands are often referred to in two separate groups. Most travelers limit their exploration to the 43 inner islands, basing themselves on one of the group's three main isles. Mahé is the largest, home to the Seychelles capital, Victoria, as well as the famed dance and attendance beach, Crestland. The second largest of the primary islands also boasts several acclaimed shorelines, not to mention the Vallée de Mai Nature Reserve. And then there's La Digue, a quiet island where bicycles reign supreme, and the sands of ants-sourced Argent Beach remain unspoiled. Charter a private yacht further out to sea and you'll likely stumble across one of the 72 outer islands, low-lying, sandy cays ruled by wildlife. It doesn't get more remote than that. Visit in the off-seasons. Lodging and transport costs soar from May to September, and in December and January. If you can plan a trip for April or November, you can save on travel expenses, especially if you plan several months in advance. Avoid the resorts. Seychelles' big resorts will charge you an arm and a leg for a bed and a meal. You'll save some dough if you bunk down in one of the island's smaller inns and dine at local restaurants. Stay put. It's tempting to try to visit more than one of Seychelles' 115 islands, but you'll save on transportation costs by limiting yourself to just one. Many travelers choose to stay on Mahé or Crestland thanks to the island's convenient bus systems, ample lodging options, and numerous free beaches. Seychelles culture and customs. Comprising 115 islands located off the eastern coast of Africa, the Republic of Seychelles was first settled by the French in 1770, who maintained ownership of the islands until 1814. Following the passage of the Treaty of Paris, Seychelles relinquished to Britain, which governed Seychelles until the archipelago achieved independence in 1976. In their short history as settled territory, the Seychelles Islands have welcomed people of varying nationalities, all of whom have left their imprint on Seychelles culture. The island nation recognizes three official languages: English, French and French-based Seychellois Creole. Many Seychellois can also speak Italian or German, meaning there's no shortage of ways to communicate with islanders. You'll also recognize international influences in the island's art and architecture. Houses are reminiscent of Europe's Victorian era. Seafood is prepared with hints of Asian and French cuisine, and Creole-style music and dance is infused with European, African and Malagasy melodies and movements. The price of most services like hotel stays, taxi rides and meals at restaurants already includes a 5 to 10% tip, although you're welcome to leave more if you wish. The official currency of the Seychelles Islands is the Seychelles rupee, SCR, which is equal to about 6 American cents. However, credit cards and major currencies, such as the British pound, the euro and the US dollar are all acceptable forms of payment. If you decide to use the Seychelles rupee throughout your stay, you'll find plenty of establishments that offer currency exchange services. But to avoid being scammed, only change your money at banks, hotel cashiers or the exchange bureau at Seychelles International Airport. It is illegal to exchange currency with an unlicensed operator. Other than the occasional faux money changer, Seychelles is a relatively safe place to visit, though you should use common sense when it comes to your personal belongings and any late-night walkabouts. The sun actually poses the largest threat to unsuspecting visitors. Because of the Seychelles Islands' location just south of the equator, you'll need to prepare yourself for powerful rays. Make sure that you are diligent about applying sunscreen and drinking water. It also doesn't hurt to bring a hat and some shades. While visiting Seychelles, you should be careful to leave the islands as pristine as you found them. Do not take shells from nature reserves or marine parks, and do not disturb the wild flora and fauna.